welcome to the 80s Zest, the podcast that uses your votes to determine the most totally 80s song ever to blare from the tinny speakers of a canary yellow Walkman. In the heart of rock and roll, it's Cleveland, Ohio. I'm Keith Marsteller. And joining me from the home of grunge, Seattle, it's the creator of the 80s Zest, my longtime friend, my co-host, it's Joe Walk. Hey, Joe.
Hey, Keith. All right, so full disclosure, I completely forgot to write a little intro for today's opening.
Oh, okay.
So don't pick, because instead I thought we could play a little, a word association game.
All right. Well, I'm up for anything. So let's go for it.
Right. So I'm going to say a word, and I just want you to say the first word that comes to mind.
Got it. Yeah, got it.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Doves.
Peace.
Okay. Beret.
France.
Okay. Purple.
Grimace.
Lake Minnetonka.
Swimming, of course.
God damn it, Keith! I mean, can you not hear what I'm saying without me actually having to fucking say it?
No.
Oh. All right. That's okay.
Okay,
that's
cool. Fun game.
Yeah.
Thanks for that. Welcome back to the 80s Zest. And today, in our 25th episode, Joe, it's a quarter of 100.
It's a milestone.
Yeah, milestone again. We're going to discuss our fifth matchup in the singers region, and that's going to pit 6th seed, The Glamorous Life by Sheila E, against 11 seed, Things Can Only Get Better by Howard Jones. So, there you go.
So, The Glamorous Life is from the album The Glamorous Life and was released on May 2nd, 1984. It reached number 7 on the Hot 100, but did hit number 1 on the U.S. dance charts. It was nominated for 2 Grammys and 3 MTV Awards.
Wow.
In one of the best years in American music, it was the number 30 song of 1984.
Wow, big resume. Let's see what the contender...
Impressive CV.
Yeah, let's see what its opponent can muster. Things Can Only Get Better is from the album Dream Into Action.
Ooh, provocative.
Released on February 1st, 1985. And it reached number 5 on the U.S. charts.
Oh.
So, that's not bad. Else? That's not bad, but it doesn't quite have the clout, I guess.
I suppose it doesn't.
At least at first blush, right? So
no, yeah. I guess things didn't get better.
They could.
Sorry, Howard.
Only get better. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna play some of the Glamorous Life. Now,
yes,
Glamorous Life is all fucked up. There's like 7 versions of it. There's like a 9-minute version. There's a 12-minute version. I found the radio edit, and it turns out it's called The Glamorous Life Part 1.
Oh, of course.
Which I never knew. So here is...
You didn't. Well, the rest of us knew that, Keith, so catch up.
So here is Sheila E. and The Glamorous Life Part 1. Coming right out with that sax.
Oh, yeah, she hits the ground running. Or standing, as the case may be.
Right. She is a standing percussionist.
That's right.
She wears a long fur coat of me, even in the summertime. Everybody knows from the corner away, the girl's got a lot of mind. She's got big thoughts, big dreams, and a big Mercedes sedan. What about this girl? She really wants to be in love with a man. She wants to lead a glamorous life. She don't need a man's touch. She wants to lead a glamorous life without a love. It ain't much.
All right. That's a little taste of The Glamorous Life Part 1.
Pretty good taste.
Pretty solid taste there. And, of course, let's just jump right into the opponent, Howard Jones. Things can only get better.
There's more than one thing, Keith.
Right. It's not thing can only get better. All right, here we go.
Thing can only better.
Oh, opening with synth.
It's dreamy.
That's a big sound right there.
That's right.
We're not scared to lose it all. Security thrown through the wall. Future dreams we have to realize. 1,000 skeptic hands won't keep us from the things we plan, unless we're clinging to the things we prize. And do you feel scared? But I won't stop and falter. And if we throw it all away, things can only get better.
Yeah, you gotta include the whoa-whoas.
Yeah, do we go through the whoa-whoas and then cut it?
That sounds good.
All right, here we go. All right, so that's Things Can Only Get Better. Howard Jones.
Howard Jones. The great Howard.
The great Hojo.
Hojo. That's right. When you think Hojo, you're
think
saying
quality.
Howard Jones.
Yeah.
That's right.
All right, Joe. Big,
Yes.
big time for your opinion.
Okay.
Do you like these songs? Let's start off with The Glamorous Life. What are your thoughts?
I do. I like The Glamorous Life.
Anything you can point to about it that really, you know?
I mean, when we start making the case for
Then you'll talk about
cases
it.
for and against, I have something there.
But
yeah,
unqualified, you're just like, I like the song.
I like the song.
All
I like
right,
the song.
cool.
How about you?
I think, again, we have to do a way better job of keeping track of this on side B. I think I might have been the only one to nominate this, but I don't remember.
I think you were.
But I like it, and
Yes.
and so yeah, we're going to tag all the songs with one, the other, or both for next time, and make
Okay.
that part of the intro. I think like this song was nominated by Joe. Joe, the burden
that's a
of
good
proof
idea.
is on you now. Like, you know,
Wow. Should we like pull down the first 24 episodes and redo
fix
them
all
with
of
that
them
in mind?
Yeah, that's a great idea.
Okay.
All right, things. So we both like The Glamorous Life.
We do.
How do you feel about Things Can Only Get Better?
I like that song too. I mean, it's not like in my top 3 80s tunes, but I like it. I definitely would not hit skip on that one.
And
I like
I'm with you on this. I like but don't love Things Can Only Get Better.
That's right.
In terms of Howard Jones songs, I actually prefer No One Is to Blame.
Yes.
But I agree with you, who I believe nominated this song, that Things Can Only Get Better is a much more 80s song than No One Is to Blame. But, you know.
I 100% feel the same. I was a big moper.
Yeah, this
in
is
the
so
80s.
melancholy, right?
Oh, this is a great song to mope to.
I didn't
kinda
mope as much, but I still, you know, I occasionally would like to, you know, get deep, you know,
I think you were probably mope adjacent.
like, now and then. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, you know this song, everyone, but that's not the one we're reviewing. All right, so we've got a general a love for The Glamorous Life and a general like for Things Can Only Get Better.
Yeah,
and
good chuck on the shoulder, kind of good feelings.
so let's dig into The Glamorous Life, Joe.
Okay. All right.
So I'm going to just quickly start with Sheila E. Kind of a background, not an exact one-hit wonder, right? She had this song, I Love Bizarre.
Right.
But, and this is weird, I would have put this song into the nomination process. I thought it was a Prince song. I did not realize it was. I knew Sheila E. was in it, but I thought it was Prince featuring Sheila E.
Interesting.
I was wrong.
Interesting.
So So there you go.
My first note about the Glamorous Life is just it's so Prince.
Yeah.
And you know, look up. He does backup on it. He obviously wrote the song.
Yeah.
Produced it. Did he produce it?
He produced it. He I believe they co-wrote it. Mm-hmm. He is in there, and if you listen carefully, I mean, you have to listen kind of carefully to hear him in there. Once the vocals start, he kind of is. He's back there with her, you know? Also, brown Mercedes? Come on. That's success? Brown Mercedes? Anyway.
But they don't say like what. It's not like a dark brown, right? You know, it's a fun kind of brown.
Maybe it's like a champagne or something.
There you go. There you go.
But yes,
whatever the brown it was classy, and you can take that to the bank.
Oh, interesting that you should use that turn of phrase. That might come into play later, soon in an episode. But anyway,
interesting.
Sheila E was romantically involved with Prince and briefly engaged to him.
Oh, I did not know about the engagement.
So they did have kind of a collaborative relationship with music. Mm-hmm. And Prince, as we know, was kind of benevolent about giving songs out or letting other artists record songs he had already released.
Yeah.
And, you know, Sheila was kind of the beneficiary of that with this smash hit, right?
Right.
So tell me how you feel. Give me some arguments about why this song is more, you know, is very 80s.
Well, you know, again, it's the Prince of it all, isn't it? Because I think, you know, being a Prince adjacent project is incredibly 80s.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, because he left his mark not just with his music, but like you said, he gave his songs out to a lot of other people. There's all kinds of artists, some of whom are in our bracket or will be in the next bracket.
Right.
Who you know, who were doing Prince songs.
Yeah.
It was, you know, it's like what's his name? The painter of light, Thomas Kincaid, who doesn't actually paint all of his stuff, but he has a factory of people who do it, right?
I was unaware of that, but thanks for that, you know.
Yeah. Thomas Kincaid.
I mean, I love the attempt to educate the audience in the arts.
Well, you know, it's not an art history lesson unless you're talking Thomas Kincaid.
So, this is a song that he wrote.
Yeah.
And as it turned out, he recorded it.
Yes.
As we would find out after his death. And here it is.
She wears a long fur coat of mink, even in the summertime.
So,
everybody knows
no offense to
the girl's got a lot on her mind.
So, you know, no offense to the dead, but I like Sheila E's voice better. It's for this song. It's smooth,
for this song. Yeah.
sultry.
Absolutely.
And of course, her standing percussion is so hella crisp.
That's it. And what I wrote is that her drumming is incredible. Her voice maybe less so.
Okay.
I mean, it's a good fit for the song. And I think you're right. It's a better fit for this song than Prince's voice. But she's not like the strongest singer.
She doesn't have that 4-octave range of like a Denise Williams, but she's got kind of a sexy kind of voice for me anyway. Like,
yeah.
And they did a good job of giving it that effect of a little reverb and making it a really full sounding.
Yeah, and it works for this song. Absolutely.
And I don't know if you've seen the video for this.
I have. As a matter of fact, I wanted to talk about the video.
Let's talk about it.
Okay, so it goes along with our theme of weird costumes for no discernible reason. She's on the street. These 3 people walk by. They might be a triad. That's the impression that I got. It was like a jester and someone in a weird gold mask, right? And they're walking down the street. Just no reason for these costumes, and yet there they are, which is very 80s.
And she is just just dripping in incredible 80s style. She's got giant
Oh my
hair.
God. Yeah.
She's got a leopard,
Big old
half leopard print, half
Half
pink leather.
pink.
Yeah,
Yes.
or pink something. Might not be
Yes.
leather, but
No.
but yeah, it's like half leopard, half
and
pink.
she's wearing a fur coat through part of it.
Of course, she wears a long
which
fur
is
coat of
very
mink even in the
glamorous.
summertime. Yeah.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
on message. And then the other thing about the video that the choreography for the music, because they're for portions of it they're there on a stage playing,
Yes.
and there's amazing choreography. You know, they're dancing and you're just doing these cool moves, but they're not at all believably playing their instruments. Like, not at all.
You're seeing some missed notes in the.
I'm doubtful that I think they were just kind of bouncing along with the choreography and more worried about that than they were about looking like they knew what they were doing. Playing the instruments.
I did learn one thing, and that is that Sheila E will be like hitting her snare and will hit a cymbal on the upstroke. Like she'll be like snare, 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 upstroke, hit the bottom of the cymbal on the way up, and then hit it again on the way down, which is something I don't see a lot of I don't see a lot of drummers do that.
Is it her standing technique that allows her to do that?
Maybe. Yeah, because it's just like, you're just like, it's more efficient to hit it on the way up than to hit the snare, move your arm all the way around and come down on the top of it. So maybe it's what allows her to keep that beat that is kind of pushing this song along. A word you like to use, propulsively, I think.
My God, I do like that word. You've picked up on that.
This thing has got synth. It's got 80s guitar.
It's got sax.
It's got sax, which I think it might be a soprano sax after watching the video. Because it's like a straight saxophone like the one Kenny G used to play. And
But again, there is no guarantee that that's the person that was
that might have been
actually playing on the
completely
track.
fake, right? Right.
Yeah. Because
Good point.
Prince does not appear there, and we know he played the guitar on this.
Yeah, fair enough.
The Wikipedia also lists a cello for this song, which I don't hear because I have incredibly uneducated musical ears.
Oh, a cello, really?
It's got again, this is Wikipedia, could be bullshit, because any rando could edit.
Right. I feel like it would be later in the song. Like, that's not.
There's
a cello.
no like cello solo in here.
Right. So it must just be accenting.
Yeah.
Anyway,
maybe.
yeah. I
Wait, there it was. I heard it.
Did you?
No.
Oh, fuck you.
No, not at all.
So, in the lyrics,
Yeah.
they made haste in the brown sedan. They drove to 55 Secret Street, she says. This is where they make love. And I changed, when you get the 80s-ist email, it says like copyright 2024, the 80s-ist, 1985 Electric Avenue, Shermer, Illinois, 01985. But for this episode, I've changed the address to 55 Secret Street for the 80s-ist podcast. So
Nicely done.
anyone can go look. It's there. Well,
It's
what
the
else?
little details that are just for you.
That's right. Because I'm like, will anyone ever see that? No, I'm going to have to call this out.
Hell no.
Yeah.
No.
What else do you have about this song, if anything, or this artist?
That pretty much taps me out. Again, I have super positive vibes for this. There's a lot about it that is 80s.
Yeah.
And I think it absolutely, deserves its number 6 seed.
I also just, and this is relatively obvious, I guess, but I give her 80s cred because she did appear in We Are the World.
She did, yes.
She didn't have a solo, but she's in the
Did you
chorus.
watch the documentary?
I did. I watched that. Hopefully, a lot of our listeners
if I
have
recall
too.
correctly, she kind of says like, they kind of didn't want. I mean, she was there because she was Prince adjacent or something, and they didn't ever like.
And they
he's
thought,
not gonna
if
show.
she comes, she can
Right.
get him to come. Yeah, which is
Right.
really unfortunate thing to do to somebody. And
It's
so
kind of
she
a real
leaves.
dick move.
She leaves in the middle of it.
Right.
And so there's parts where she's in the chorus and other parts where she is not. But still, she's in We Are the World, which is more than I can say for me.
That's true.
It's pretty 80s to be in that.
I was there, but you definitely weren't.
I didn't make it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did have one Glamorous Life needle drop. It's little soprano sax Sheila E percussion breakdown at 255
Okay, let's hear it.
on the radio edit. Oh yeah. That guitar,
That was saxtastic.
wasn't it? And it's still going into that. Yeah. So anyway, without love, it ain't much. All right.
Good point, Prince.
So that is the Glamorous Life. It's got a lot going for it.
It does.
Again, we didn't allow Prince. If you want to remind possibly new listeners who are like, why is there no Prince in this?
Because we hate Prince. He sucks.
He's probably one of our favorite
No.
80s artists for both of us.
He's too big. We determined that he
Too much
he
talent.
surpassed that he transcended the decade. We could not put him in there. But a little birdie told me
Right.
that there might down the road be a whole bracket filled with people who transcended the decade.
That's right. It's the 80s-ist Legends Edition. Coming
my God.
not that soon
No,
to a
not
podcast
next,
near
but
you.
down the road a little ways.
Yeah, down the road.
Maybe toward the end of the year.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to me about things can only get better. Joe, what do you got?
I will. I think right from the beginning, this has its 80s cred right there. Yep.
I'll play this under you. Go ahead.
Kind of a little bit dreamy, and kind of calm. But then, oh, it kicks in, and it's got all this. It's got this synth all over the place, right? And when Howard, I call him Howard, not Mr. Jones.
Okay.
When Howard starts to sing, we get these definite British Invasion 2 vocals. It fits in right with all these other acts we've talked about.
Right.
It is that synth pop that we've been kind of holding up as our standard.
We've been kind of giving that, praising
have.
that, and that's,
fairly or not.
and this is that.
It is that, very.
So he does have some real horns, and the synth is played by Howard himself, which I learned. If the video is true to life, which
Yes, which it might not be.
might not be, but it appears as
we
though
can
he's
talk about
playing it.
the factual things from the video and the unfactual.
Sure, why not?
Satisfactual? No.
Fictitious, we could say.
There you go.
Fact
There you
and
go.
fiction. I do love. It's an upbeat song in sound and in message. Like it's got a super positive message. Like, do you feel sad? I do.
But wait. Does it?
I don't know. You tell
Because
me.
if things
We
can
can
only
argue
get
about
better,
it. That means
then
they're not very
means that
good
right
now.
They fucking suck.
That is true, but it's like a kind of don't give up type feeling. At least for me.
Yeah,
Do you feel sad? I do, but I won't stop and falter.
There's a certain way to look at it where it's like, wow,
Where it's a garbage.
we're in the shit. Things have to get better because there is literally no way for them to get worse.
They can't possibly get worse.
Yeah, I will say you are almost certainly right, given the tone of the song and the jubilant dancing in the video.
Oh,
where
that's
people
true.
Are clearly excited about the future and not walking off a cliff.
One thing I didn't know, I learned that these
Yeah.
great background vocals, which I could try to find some here. Let's see. I think that's him singing with himself, but
Yeah,
there's a all-female group called Aphrodisiac,
okay,
spelled AFRO,
naturally.
who crush it in the background vocals department. I didn't
They
realize
appear
it
in the
was like a
video.
separate group,
Okay,
but
I did not know that either because it's not Howard Jones featuring Aphrodisiac.
that's true. There's a lot of whoa in this song.
It's very woey and oey.
Yeah. Anyway, talk to me. What else do you have?
Well, I didn't take a lot of notes on the song itself because I watched the video.
I
And I
also
got
watched the video
so
for the first
drawn
time
in.
ever. Was this your first time also?
I had never seen this video.
Yeah, okay.
Never.
Let's
It was
talk
not
about
familiar
that.
with me at all.
Did you
Okay,
know
well-
what Howard Jones looked like before you watched this video? I didn't.
I did not, and wow, was I impressed.
Do you want to try to describe him?
Well, his hair. He has the huge. I mean, it's just really, really, really big hair.
Yeah.
That is also a mullet.
Yes.
It's like huge in the top and party in the back.
It's almost like
a huge party.
combination of a rooster comb / mohawk with
Yes.
a mullet, and as my note says, which did not mix well with premature male pattern baldness.
No, because he does have his hairline is super receding
Yeah.
to the point where someone before the video was shot could have just said, "Howard, maybe just shave it.
Yeah.
Maybe do that." I mean, it's maybe along the same level of distracting as Phil Collins's hair in the 80s when
Yeah.
there was just nothing going on up top, but it was super long and stringy, and it's like, dude, just
cut it. Cut it
Yeah.
real short.
you're not fooling anyone.
Can you tell me about why you think there's a Karate Kid impersonator and a Charlie Chaplin impersonator in this video?
Again, this is 80s videos. They just opened up a goddamn costume box.
They're like, hey,
and
I've got a
said,
Karate Kid outfit. Screw it.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, throw that on.
That guy kind of
we'll
looks
have
like
him
Ralph
with-
Macchio.
Yeah, kind of. He did. He did, and it was a very well done Chaplin look-alike.
Yeah. Wow, they really featured the Chaplin. Like the
Yeah.
Macchio guy's in there for like 5
Right,
seconds
no.
maybe.
Chaplin pops up all over the fucking place, and it ends on a freeze frame of him and walking out for the little girl.
He gets the girl, which
I don't know who the random little girl is.
yeah, I'm hoping
Why
that's
he's
not
walking off of her.
problematic.
Yeah. There's. I want to also say about Howard Jones and how he looks in this video. He is wearing this orange satin suit
Yeah.
that was mind blowing. It looked to me like maybe something that like Ricky Lake might have worn on her talk show.
Oh, wow.
In the early '90s.
Yeah. Okay.
Right? If that's when she had her talk show, because I paid no attention to Ricky Lake.
I think 90s sounds about right.
That sounds
for
right,
her.
yeah.
80s would be
Yeah.
too soon for her.
Right. But yeah, no, it's this voluminous satin-looking, flowy suit,
Now,
orange.
one
great.
thing that I noticed that
Yes.
this video and Sheila E's video have in common is both have standing drummers. So the guy who's drumming for Hojo
Yeah,
is not only is he standing, and I'm telling you this is worth a rewatch for anyone who hasn't seen this video, he has his electric drum pads mounted literally above his head, and he has to reach up and play them with his arms extended fully, like they're mounted almost in a circle around his head, and he has to
yeah.
reach up with fully extended arms to hit these things. And it's like, how is that a good way to play those drums? I don't know.
The height of his drums did not register with me, but his resemblance to John Oates.
What an interesting
did.
look that guy has. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
So-
Hojo's got this weird look. The drummer is definitely like, wow. You don't. This is definitely a guy who women were avoiding because he looks like some kind of sex offender, I would say.
Definitely.
Yeah.
No. It's the little mustache.
Yeah.
The little mustache just reads, "Hey, I'm kind of skeevy."
Yeah. So, yeah, go ahead.
Couple things about the video I wanted to point out. Number one, because the idea here is, at least in the start, there's these workmen putting together a stage. They're getting ready for a performance, and so there's
Yeah, like
workers,
roadies and yeah.
and the workers, they're wearing painters' caps.
Oh, damn. Dude,
Pretty
that's going to
80s.
push you over the edge, isn't it?
It's pretty 80s. But then, all right, so And I would like us to maybe post a link to the video so people can live this like I did.
Yeah.
At about a minute in, and I don't know if you rewound it to watch this multiple times like I did.
Okay.
There's this, at 1 minute in, there's this random dude. I'm assuming he's a band member. It might be the same guy who shows up as Karate Kid later on.
Oh, okay.
He has that same kind of trying to be funny kind of thing.
Yeah.
And the bit in 1 minute in is he's sitting there, like in a dressing room maybe, and he squeezes a tube of toothpaste.
Yes, that is the Karate Kid guy.
Okay, but instead of dripping down, it spirals up.
Yeah, like they've got a little gravity trick going on.
Right.
Like
and
he
then-
might
and then
be upside down.
Yeah, and then he goes to touch a paper cup, or reach for a paper cup, and it goes
Flies away.
off the table, flies away.
It's as
and
though
then he kind
they-
of gives like a Mentos kind of like,
Oh, yeah,
kinda
like they did an
oh.
entire upside down set trick for like 2 seconds, and then they dropped the whole idea.
yeah.
It's in there for a few seconds. Like you say, he squeezes the paste, the cup goes
it's-
flying, and then he's like, well, nothing you can do.
Random little sequence that makes no sense and adds nothing to the video. I really think that they had like they like the band, Howard and his band sat down and they all had different ideas and they're like shouting over each other and they're like, no, we gotta do this, we gotta do the Charlie Chaplin. What about my Karate Kid idea? And but my suit, and they're just back and forth, and Howard's like, wait, let's do all of it.
There are no bad ideas, he says.
That's right, and they just crammed all of this shit in there.
It's pretty bad.
It's pretty bad.
It's one of the worst videos I've seen. And keep in mind, I watched the Obsession video several times, which
yeah, this is along it's along those lines
with those crazy kind of random characters.
Yes,
Yeah.
I would say if we were just comparing videos, Sheila E and the Glamorous Life would win hands down because there's apart from the weird costume people who are random in the beginning, there is some cohesion there.
Yeah.
And this is just unfucking glued.
It's wild.
Yeah.
I did have a note for a quick needle drop on a synth bridge around 2:37. I'm
Play it.
just going to drop it in and we'll just kind of like listen to it to see how 80s this is. You know, so you don't get this in the 90s. You don't get this in the 70s.
No, because in the 70s and then again in the 90s, people realized the synth player doesn't need a solo.
Right. Now, it's like not the most audacious synth bit.
No.
And some of these horns are real, at least if the video is to be believed.
The video would have you believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was just a little, there's like a minute of that garbage. So it's very 80s.
Yes.
It might be 80s enough to get someone to vote for it.
Oh boy. All right. Is it that time?
The question is it 80s enough to get you to vote for it? And I don't recall which one of us, whose turn it is to go first.
I don't either.
I'm happy to go first. If you're
Go first, because I need more time to think. What's your thoughts?
My thoughts are, I just can't get enough. I had a lot more experiential stuff with the Glamorous Life. It came out not long after I got my radio, so it's a song I liked in that first year of 1984, which had tons and tons. When we do the legend brackets,
Yeah.
it's going to be filled with legendary songs from 1984, from Born in the USA, Like a Virgin, Purple Rain, Thriller, things. I mean, it's insane how much.
Was We Are the World 84?
I think it was after that. I think it was 85, maybe.
Oh, was it 85? Okay.
Maybe even 86. I don't know offhand, honestly.
Okay.
But anyway, for me, I identified this song as more 80s to me. I do recognize Things Can Only Get Better is pretty 80s, and the video almost pushed it over the top for me.
It's a real 80s video.
But the presence of the great one, Prince, and the coolness, the undeniable coolness and sultriness of Sheila E. and her musical talents, and I like her voice. So all of it pushes me to a close but definite Glamorous Life vote.
Yeah.
Now, that's where I'm at, and I tried to talk long enough to give you a chance to decide what to do.
Well, here's my thoughts. The princessity of the Glamorous Life is, for me, a huge argument for the Glamorous Life being more 80s. But there are things about Things Can Only Get Better that for me would just could not conceivably in any universe exist outside of the decade. It belongs, and the video,
Wow.
it belongs so wholly to the 80s.
And that look, that hair.
Oh, man. Yeah, so
and Sheila's got
gotta
some
go
giant
Things Can Only Get
80s hair, which I love.
Yeah.
But
And again, I like the Glamorous Life more.
right.
It's a better song.
But that's not what this is about.
Not what it's about.
All right, so that is a split decision, everybody. We've got one vote for each. And so we will...
Sorry, is that now our split decision?
I don't know. I wish that I had like a bell from like a fight or something, but all I have is... Woohoo! So...
Okay.
Anyway.
Hey, you know what? It's a great clip, and I think the more we use it, the better.
The better, yes.
Yeah.
So it's 1-1, and we know this is the time of the show where we tell people what to do next.
That's right. So if you want to come down on one side or the other in public, follow us on, so you can go to Substack, and you can go to the 80sist.substack.com, and you can vote on there. That is the best place to vote. It really is. You can find us on Facebook. At the 80sist podcast. You can find us on threads at _80s_est. You can email us if that's your jam.
Yeah, if you are a boomer and you want to join in and send us an email, go for it.
That's right. Well, I posted a message to you on my Facebook page and you didn't answer. You can find us, you can email us at the80sist@gmail.com.
Awesome. Now, I've also got the podcast is up on Apple Podcasts and Spotify and Google Podcasts. And we have all of the playlists right up there on Spotify. Just search for The 80sist and you will see all the regions. Yeah.
It's arranged neatly for her pleasure.
That's right. One matchup after the other, as opposed to 1 through 16. It's these two guys are playing each other. These two guys. Yep. So that's what we've got. We'd love it if you liked us, subscribed us. We've been getting a lot of great comments from people who have.
Sweet.
Liked
you
and
could
subscribed.
go even more public and leave a review.
That could help us get another listener.
That's it. I mean, don't leave it on like Amazon, some random Amazon product page, because that wouldn't help us. You got to leave it in the right place.
Hey, by the way, I'm considering a new segment for the show. Where we both guess what Denny is going to do. But then I feel like guessing might affect what he actually does. So maybe we just should sit back and wait.
Yeah, you know what? Let's go ahead and do it right now.
All right.
Of these two songs, which do you think Denny would vote for?
I think he will vote strongly for Hojo.
Really?
I have no idea. He's got incredible musical experience and taste and like an unpredictable taste, like and I mean he just loves so much music. I have no idea where he comes out on this. I think he'll probably hate it.
He has very strong opinions on a lot of things, but I have trouble predicting. But let's go ahead. You think he's gonna go Hojo? I'm gonna back you up on that. Let's see where Denny lands.
All right, and he's gonna vote Glamorous Life just to spite both of us, probably.
Oh, fuck you guys.
Oh man. Well, that is going to be all the time we have for today's show. So please join us next time on the 80sist when we're going to explore our next matchup, Joe. Guess what?
Which is? Yes.
It's going to be number 3, Jesse's Girl.
Number 3.
Versus number 14, Party All the Time.
She can't seriously party all the time.
She does.
She go to the bathroom.
Until then, on behalf of Joe, this has been Keith saying, please try to keep your 80sist comments as input to mildly hostile if possible. Thanks.
Sounds major.
I mean, what's the story? I mean, you got a guy or?
Yes, 3 big ones and they lust for wimp blood, so quit bugging me or I'll stick them all over your weenie ass.
You know, I'm getting input here that I'm reading is relatively hostile. I mean, it's just...
Go to hell.